Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Can you hear me? Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's so great to see you. This morning, I was like looking at the weather going, no, don't tell me this conference is not meant to happen or something, but sure enough, the weather cooperated with us. We still have maybe a few people that are still trying to find us and get here. My name is Wheaton. I am one of the coordinator facilitators for the HIL project, and we're just excited that you get to be part of this learning day with us together. I'd like to introduce some of my colleagues. Dr. Jennifer Sell is not here today. She is a curriculum associate superintendent in KRESA and couldn't make the day work with this switch. So we're really pleased that you can make it work and be here today with us. So next person up.
I'm Dorothy VanderJagt, and I worked with many of you before, and I'm kind of from the Kent, Newaygo, and Ottawa area, so I'm a little bit north. So we'll be working with many of you.
Good morning, I'm Laurie Schmitt. I am Assistant Superintendent at the Allegan area, ESA, so I'm going to be kind of in the middle western part of our region.
And I'm Diane Talo. I'm from St. Joseph County, and I just say I do everything that's not special ed. And I'm taking kind of that southwest part. And what I love about today is I see faces of people that I've gotten to meet through rounds. So I feel like I know even more people today. Thank you.
So our day today, we're just going to divide some things up amongst us, and we'll jump in and out because that's what we'll do, and we want you to do that as a team and learn from each other and build on things from each other, and that's what we'll be doing. So if I scare you today, Derek, when you're in the middle of something, just go with it. I'm saying this to warn Derek because, you know, it just happens. We have fun together.
And if we're modeling, does that mean they get to scare Derek?
That's right.
Yeah, sure. We also want to put some faces to other members of our team that you probably know. Dr. Pat Reeves is right back here.
Hello.
And Pat in the afternoon is going to take us through just some of the questions you might have about compensation and contracts. Okay? The other person that there's no way anything could happen, and she's now my #1 email person, is Lisa Ryan, right over here.
This is if you wanted to take a photo,
she is
like
the
a
person
still
who,
photo.
you better make sure, if she sends you an email, you're on it, you're not deleting,
I
okay?
think I do this time here.
All right, we're going to get ourselves started with a little team builder this morning, and this room is a little small, but we're going to make it intimate and wonderful. In the middle of your
And I think
table,
here's your
you'll find a
Zoom.
brown manila envelope. If you could just grab one, let's make sure everybody has one at your table. I think there are 5 there. If we need some more, we'll get them out to you, okay? Who needs one?
Do you know what's on a Wi-Fi? Do they give a Wi-Fi code? Is it right on one of the papers?
All right, but you check for me. On the outside of the envelope, you'll have a colored dot.
Is this for WMU Gas?
Inside, you'll have a Sharpie and a white balloon. Would you take those out, please? Who else needs one? Somebody say they needed one. Back here. Okay, and here's what I'd like you to do. Don't hyperventilate on me. But I need you to blow up that white balloon and tie it up. Good helium size. Good helium balloon size, okay? Get to work. Good morning. Hi, how are you? We need one for you? Okay. Come on, let's go. We're looking good. A little bigger, a little bigger. Donnie's back right there. Donnie, would you show everybody about this size? Got it? Good. Okay, tie it up. Once you have it tied up, put it right there for you. You're ready to go.
That's like structural. You can do it. I'm sure. Yeah.
How we doing? Come on, get your oxygen on here. Let's go. Okay? Does anybody need help tonight? You got it? Okay, here's what I'd like you to think about now. If I could ask you to come with me. I've done this with children, and they keep their balloons still, believe me. So adults, we can do it. I'd like you to think now about maybe a team you've been on, a group that you've worked with, or others, and how did they collaborate together? How did they hold each other accountable? How did they work well together to get to the results of the identified goal? Think about some of those character traits, those actions, those values and beliefs that characterize that good collaboration to get to that result. Would you take your Sharpie marker then and just brainstorm all over this balloon? Now I'll tell you, I've never had one pop yet, so we'll see how this gets done. But you might want to write thoughts per se. So just brainstorm. What questions or clarification do you need from me for the task I've asked you to do? Okay, I'll give it just about a minute or so. Go. All right, those of you who hate the little scratching on the, the whiteboard and stuff, hang in there. Hang in there. Just about 10 seconds. Write your last thought or get on. All right, put your pen away, and if you could just put that into the manila folder, because I'm going to collect these later for my use. Now, would you look on your manila folder and find your color dots? There are 8 different color dots that you need to find. When I say go, you're going to self-organize, and if you have an orange dot, you will meet over with this group right here. I'll give you directions when you get there. If you have a teal dot, you're going to meet in this section right over here, please. Okay? Watch me. If you have a gray dot, you'll meet right over here. Blue, right back over in this section. Light green, right here. Light green. Black, right in this section. And then brown, right here. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put it on this. Somebody, oh, dark green is back there. If you have a purple, you're extra. Okay, you're special. I didn't put you in a special group. You are special. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm this dark green back here. So would you self-organize, look around, and meet up? And I'll give you directions. Where are my teal people? You should have about 6 in this group. That's
I think I'm a teal. I wanted to be sure if I was a dark green or a teal because it's more muddy and I will see how many different is she and Cesar that.
I think there are other teals.
Yeah, well, a couple Barb's over there with. Hey Barb. Come join us because we're a small little group.
She's just the only purple. No, he wants. So there you go.
All right, come together for me, please.
Come together.
Plus black, but we have two.
One of the things that I noticed Carolyn McCann would do was she gave directions and then sent people out. As a facilitator, that does not work for me. I always learned that you move your people first and then you give directions, okay? So you've been moved, you have your new group, and now I'll give you some directions that I'd like you to do, all right? So now what I want you to do is to have a person with a marker, and that's going to be the person whose birthday is closest to today. You'll look down by your chart. There'll be a color marker. Do not use the red one this first time. Only use the marker that goes along with your color paper. So the person with the birthday closest to today, figure it out real quick. Go.
November.
Oh, there you go, Laurie.
Winner, winner, chicken
What have
dinner.
ever thought? I guess so. It's my lucky day.
Okay, doesn't take long. You should be ready. That person should have the marker in their hand. They should have the colored marker that is not the red marker in their hand. Now, simply, all you're going to do is each person will share their balloon with those attributes, and then let's just get them out on this chart paper. Get them all out for right now. What questions or clarification do you need? Go.
Okay, well, we just go
I
on.
know I chose the first one, the fastest one. Only put this on one chart if you can, so make it small. The other chart is for a second part of this project.
Why don't we go around? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Positive, holds positive, increase.
I don't smell anything. There's something wrong.
Doesn't count, no judgment zone.
Listen.
Suspend judgment.
Whoops, guidance. I want judgment.
I like the fact that you're using the guidance.
Yeah, that's
a good sweat, isn't it?
Accountable to each other.
When we get to this next part, somehow
I put supportive with data.
I had shared goals.
Okay, how are we doing? We got everybody? Close? Okay.
Open minded.
Poses questions.
Growth mindset. Open to ideas.
Okay, let's try to at least capture one or two from everybody from the group, but just about 30 seconds.
Let's see what
Get them out.
have. Confidential.
Well, does anyone have one that they're burning to share in the last 30 seconds?
10 seconds.
Yeah, I can laugh. That's a good one. That's so important. We forget to do that sometimes. Makes for crabby people. Yeah.
Creative. I have.
All right. Caps on. Eyes my way, please. Thank you. And you're still holding that balloon so nicely. Nobody's popped anybody over the head yet. We're doing good. Okay. Now here's what I'd like you to do. You have a rather lengthy list. And so I'd like you as a group now to agree on the top 3 that you would want to share with the rest of the group. Okay? So whenever we do charting, oftentimes we make sure that we think, we read, we write, and then we agree. So your group of 6 are going to need to agree on the top 3 and put a star by those. The person with the shortest hair in your group is going to be our reporter. What questions or clarification do you need? All right, go. Top 3, go.
What do you guys think?
The top 3.
What about listening? I think that's kind of, it's kind of, yeah.
So we'll put a little dot there. Really bad.
Yeah, because that also, I think, incorporates confidentiality.
Shared goals. Is that
Very quick, people. Top 3, go.
Either that or the data.
supported with data?
1, 2.
I don't have strong feelings.
2, 1 more.
Well,
How are we doing?
it is hard. It's kind of takes like open-minded and the growth. Yeah, I mean that kind of.
You have your 3 over here,
Yes,
too, group?
that kind of
Come on, let's
fits a lot of
go.
them
Pick
in
it up,
there.
pick it up.
So this one?
Okay, about 30 seconds. I'll know you're ready. You're going to be looking at me.
Well,
So,
instead of on a-
carefully holding those points.
And that encompasses so much, yes.
Okay, so now we'll put that one.
All right, first choice.
So
Take that last
growth
one.
mindset, listener.
Yep, and then honesty and trust. Yep.
Okay, eyes this way. Thank you. Okay, I promise after this last piece, we're going to do something with these bullets, all right? Let's start with this group right over here. Top 3, loud, and let me hear you. Shortest hair person, go.
Trust, data for all to use, and clear goals and outcomes.
Clear goals, outcomes, trust, and data for all to use. Okay, great. Oh, back over here.
Developing shared beliefs and purpose, interdependence, and trust.
Interdependence, trust, shared what?
Beliefs and purpose.
Shared beliefs and purpose. Okay, excellent. Back here.
Motivated to achieve outcomes, data-driven, and encourages high-level questions.
Data-driven and high level of encouraging questions. And what was the first one, please?
Motivated to achieve outcomes.
Motivated to achieve outcomes. Thank you. Right over here.
Trust, collaboration, and vested team.
Trust, collaboration, and a vested team. Thank you. Back over here.
Trust, collaboration, and a shared vision.
Oh, trust, collaboration, and what was the last one?
Shared vision.
Shared vision. Thank you. You're behind all the charts, but we still love you.
Here it's shorter.
Okay.
Trust, clear purpose, and outcome and data driven.
Trust, clear purpose, outcome, and data-driven. Last one right here.
All right, we have honesty and trust, we need good listening, and we also have a growth mindset.
Honesty and trust, growth mindset, and what was the other one I missed?
The other one was being
Listening. Oh, I need to put my listening on.
Right.
Put my careful standards on. Okay, by your chart now, there is a hefty bag. If someone would be so kind to open that, and let's get all the balloons in there, and you can tie it up fairly loosely, okay? And I'll give you directions once you have it. You're going to make a big kind of hefty bag ball is what you're going to do.
Easier, so you and me hold your balloon.
Oh, there, it is open.
It's hard to do one-handed.
There you go. There you go. Good job. Put her in there.
Oh no, if we start popping. Maybe it'll get me, it'll desensitize.
Keep it up in the air.
Are they ready?
I don't.
But that just
Has something else on it.
I love the necklace. I know this when you wait
Now, this group, you're going to have to come out behind the curtain, probably out here. We don't have the highest ceiling here, but actually what you're going to do is work as a team to volley this around. And so each person needs to volley it and hit it in your group. So get yourself in some kind of arranged circle where you'll be able to do that.
Just us?
yes,
We'd volley it around our inner group or the whole
I
group?
think our
Just a sec, I'll give you directions. I just want you to get yourself in a space where you'll be able to do
But
this.
that, is it the group in a space or the whole group in a space?
Your small
Okay,
group, color
thank
group,
you.
would you get into a round circle or space where you can actually volley this toward each other? Thank you. And there's lots of space out here. If you want to move out here, you can. I don't own this space. All right, so here's what I would like you to do. Each person needs to touch it, but get your volleyball on. Get your libero on down there. Get it up and start following it around, okay? So, go. We don't want it to touch the ground. That is the idea.
She's got that syrup. Look at her go. Sorry. Maybe we can spike it at the end.
All right, somebody will take control, please. Large bag and set it down at the ground right by you. Eyes on me.
Everything was still playing.
Thank you. It is kind of fun.
I'll do that for
Now, you showed some collaboration and working together, didn't you? Let's think about that for a minute. What did you do together as a group to make this happen? What kind of obstacles or things occurred for you to follow the goal which I had, which for each person to touch it, for you to volley? What traits, beliefs, characteristics did you use as a group to make this happen? Let's just pop them up as they come to your mind.
learning curve.
You took turns. There was a learning curve.
Trust.
Trust.
Stayed engaged.
Adjust a little bit.
System failure.
System failure. I heard over here. But they fixed it. They didn't tie it quite enough, and so balloons were coming out, and they fixed it. System failure. You what? You observed each other, so you watched. What else?
Had to be present.
You complimented. You gave affirmation.
Gain confidence.
You gained confidence after you did it. You're like, oh, I can do this. I can get my libero on, no problem. And we had no setters in the room, so that was good. What else did we have? Yes.
After we said penalty volleyball, you say mine, so we each took roles.
Oh my gosh, you really got your volleyball on, didn't you? Right. Thank you. Others?
We were a team.
You were a team. All right.
Shared leadership.
Shared leadership. Okay. Now, let's go back to your chart. Would you? You can just leave your bag there for right now, please. And now I want you to think about this. Think about a team that you've been on, or a group, where you don't get to the end result. There's a person or persons who keep you in some way from being able to do that, okay? I would like the person now with the longest hair. You're going to be my recorder. And on the separate chart, there should be two papers there. So please remove the one with all of your attributes already written. Longest hair person, get the red marker. And as a team, would you please go ahead and just brainstorm those characteristics, traits, actions, and beliefs that negatively impact a team's ability to get to the result. And so the longest hair person is going to record all of these brainstorm
I just want to go around
right
it.
on this chart.
It's pretty well.
What questions do you have or clarifications do you need about the task? Okay, go.
Negativity.
About 2 minutes.
It's all about me, mindset. Dominates conversation.
That fixed mindset.
Laurie?
Refusal to consider facts or data.
We don't know anyone like that. I've never worked with anyone like that. I've never been that person.
Oh, my turn? Okay, just withdrawn. Just withdrawn.
All these records from this balloon, this one,
Of course I will.
That was not full of water.
Yep. Okay, so I can turn on this. I want, this is a
say something like too focused on the outcome and not the process. So like maybe like not willing to
dialogue.
rush in the process.
You share a better word for withdrawing, disengage. Something. Yeah, there you go. That's what. Withdrawing works too, but disengage, yeah, that's a better picture. Let's see, so how about,
Okay,
How about
10
make
seconds and finish your last thoughts as a group. One person has been identified to keep writing on something, you keep doing it.
oh, just one.
All right, caps
that's right,
on, eyes here.
Right.
Now, I'd like you to do the same thing you did last time and agree on the top 3 red words that you would like to share with the group. Top 3 red words. So as a group, person I've given something special to, keep writing, because that's your job, keep writing. Okay? But top 3, go ahead and pick them. 1, 2, 3, go. It's going to give you a minute, not a lot of time. What are the top 3?
I would, but that's just me, so hop in.
And your dominator always closes down.
Yeah, it shuts people
Tends
down.
to shut down, makes more people withdraw.
Yeah, it really does.
Once you have your 3, look my way, I'll know that you're on
That's a
it.
huge red Yeah. And I think fixed mindset just sort of runs through all of them. Good job, guys.
The dominate.
Yeah, is all about, or those personal agendas. I hate when people come with personal and hidden agendas. So you don't even, you know they've got an agenda, but you don't know what it is.
You're going through the process when you're kind of
Yes.
Where's my special person?
Okay, your job is to get that into your
Okay, got
bag
it.
in the middle. Try to real
Oh, they should have, she was just asking. Yeah, she said she did that.
Are you moving to another?
I'm leaving to another man.
Wow. Nope, I wasn't
There we go.
I know
That's our side.
I wonder, I mean, he wasn't much of a
So it's,
Eagle is in the net.
so you did this side of staffing, it makes sense. Yeah.
We give him
No, you shouldn't.
Thank you. I got eyes. Some people have a job they're doing, you just keep doing your job, you know what it is. Let's start back here. Would you share your top 3 red words, your red words, please?
Who do you want to share?
I'm sorry. Oh, I forgot. That's the person who's been in education the longest. So, sorry about that. You can figure it out. Quick, go. Who's been in education the longest?
Oh, but how long were you in education?
You know, I don't know, because I got here, because I never 40 something, you know. I started some 7 years.
Oh, then you beat us.
I did beat you.
All right, come together.
Oh, man.
Thank you. Look at how we're working and learning with each other. You're holding it accountable.
Sorry. No problem.
Eyes my way. Thank you. And thank you, group, for helping me out. So, who's my person who's going to be sharing? Could you share those top 3 red words? Go.
All right, dominates the conversation, refusal to consider facts or data, and makes conflict emotional.
Conflict emotional, dominates conversations. And what was the one about data?
Refuses to consider data or facts.
Refuses to consider data. Okay. Right over here, please.
No communication, lack of goals, and lack of trust.
Thank you. Right over here at this back corner.
Judgmental,
Judgmental.
no purpose.
No purpose.
Just follow the norms.
What was the last one, please?
Do not follow norms.
Does not follow norms. Good. Okay, right here at this group.
One person dominating, lack of a shared goal, and poor communication.
Okay, poor communication. Back over here, please.
Reluctant learner, breakdown in communication, and no shared vision or outcome.
No shared vision or outcome. This corner, please.
Negative attitude, lack of buy-in toward a common goal, and making assumptions or decisions not based on data.
Okay, assumptions are not based on data, lack of
Buy-in.
Buy-in or ownership, and negative attitude. Who did I miss? Right back here.
Fixed mindset, dishonest, and an unclear vision.
Okay, unclear vision, fixed mindset, and dishonest. All right. Now, here's your task. I've added something into your bag, and so as a group, would you get yourself around your bag again, please? Now, just like last time, our goal is to make sure that each person touches it. It does not touch the ground, and you work together as a group for this end result. The end result is that each person gets a chance to touch it. It doesn't hit the ground, and you volley it around like a volleyball. Okay? Go.
Are you ready, friends? We're ready. It's going to be a little bit different.
You can't catch a volleyball. You don't catch a volleyball. You hit a volleyball.
It's very unpredictable. Now we're getting on
Come together for me. One person, please take control of the bag. We having some fun this morning, huh? Yes. All right. Let us take a look now. What happened? How about what happened this time? It was more difficult.
More unpredictable.
Unpredictable.
Off balance.
Off balance.
Uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
just wanted to go down.
Unprepared.
Unnerving.
Unnerving. What did somebody say?
People were left out.
There was more work than it had to be. What else?
Frustrating.
Frustrating.
People were left out.
People were left out.
Happier.
Heavier. He ain't heavy, he's my brother, but he's my sister. Okay?
Disengaging.
What?
We need medical help.
Medical help right over here. Okay? Wow. Okay. Anything else?
I got hit in the face.
You got hit in the face. All right, here's what I observed. I observed that people thought it was going to look just like last time. And you hit it up and boom, it did not. So then I saw people helping each other. You moved closer together as a group. You started almost holding it. And you weren't hitting it up like a volleyball in some way. Okay? So you adjusted to make it happen. Okay? Now, the whole idea here is don't be the red balloon. Don't be the red balloon. And don't have people be the red balloon. Let's just take a minute then and think, how might you alter this activity and use it yourself as a facilitator, or suggest it to a principal or a team that you're walking alongside? How might you now use these charts in some way to build collaborative understandings of what teams need to do in some way? How could they be valuable? Good symbolism, okay?
It's a great kickoff for introducing the norms.
Good kickoff for introducing norms. So you could take these now and build collaborative commitments together, couldn't you? All right?
Social emotional.
Social emotional.
Trust building.
Trust building, definitely. We heard that over and over again.
Active engagement.
Active engagement. So when we do activities like this as leaders, we model for those that are doing this work. That's what it needs to be about. If you were here with Carolyn McAnders, you'll remember that we didn't really get started, or somebody might say get started with content until nearly 10:30. She spent that whole morning doing what? Building relational trust, didn't she? Building a team. And that's one of the things, as we work together potentially for the next 2.5 years, we're going to get to know each other well, aren't we? And we want to make sure that we're trusting each other to do these collaborative type commitment work and not be the red balloon. All right? So the person with the bag, if you would just set it off in the corner, this isn't the most ecologically or environmentally wonderful activity, but it certainly is one of those with symbolism. If you please thank your group and have a seat. We're going to move on. How what? Hey. All right, thank you for settling in and finding your space. You will use the manila envelope, so keep it right in front of you in your space. Now, I imagine that many of you have read the Learning Forward book, or at least been made aware of the Intentional Interruptions book. And one of the things that I really like in that book and use it often as a facilitator is this description of learning. That learning is a permanent change in thinking or behavior. And so today, one of the things we want you to think about is, what did I used to believe? What do I believe now? What did I used to do? What might I do now? So in the beginning, as you're thinking about all of your learning today, we'd like you to find out at the end of the day, well, what was your permanent change in thinking or behavior? What did you used to think? What do you think now? What did you used to do? What might you do now? So our purpose today, and we'll have all of our agenda always on a chart for you to see so you know where we're going and moving as our day goes through, is simply to be able to do this. Provide these opportunities today for networking so that we can begin to gel and become a group. You'll get lots of skill building and tools and resources so that you can build this tool bag of working alongside this team that you may be working with. Okay? And so we know that the smartest person in the room is the room. And so we want to build this network of people that will be sharing resources and information as we do this work together. So our outcomes today are to develop your capacity to use the knowledge you have, the structures that you'll receive today, the processes to build this rapport and develop relationships. So just like when you watch Carolyn McCanders, we hope that you're also watching to see what protocols we're using, what structures we have in place for learning to happen, what engagement is happening and going on. Okay? We want you to certainly build relationships today and then develop resources within the group. Our goal is that we'll have a Google Classroom that all of us will be assigned to. So all the resources will be right in folders for your access in a digital manner. And we'll be able to have threads and talk back and forth with one another in a Google Classroom environment. And so stay tuned, that kind of information will be coming forward. So just like Carolyn shared the triple track agenda, we're going to bring this back and remind you that these are the 3 tracks I want your brain to be thinking about as we process and reflect. The first track is this. What's your learning present right here in this room? What am I learning right now? What's my change in thinking or behavior? My second track is to look at what can I take away from these presentation and facilitation strategies and structures, and how could I apply those with my work with my principal and that team that I'm working with? And then what are the implications and applications for your work in creating this high-impact collaborative team culture that you're going to be working on with a team for the next 2.5 years? One of the things that I always do as a facilitator is to share with you the count on us, and then I'll count on you. And so you can count on us as collaborators and facilitators and coordinators to provide current and relevant information, but please know that sometimes there's just oldies but goodies that are classic, and they might be from 1990 or something, but they're so classic that they have to be used because it doesn't change. And so we might say current information, but there are times that will let you know that this is a classic that just needs to be used over and over again. We will model teaching strategies that you can use in your work. Laurie right now is putting down the facilitation strategies, so as they come about, you'll see them being posted so you know the ones that we're using. We're going to shape a supportive learning environment. You've heard about the information from Google that they took a look at teams and they said, gosh, it must be the people on the team. We've got so many smart people. And all the information came out to be, no, it wasn't that at all. It was actually psychological safety. That people felt comfortable in this group to be able to raise their hand and go, I don't get it, what are you talking about, okay? To ask a question and feel comfortable in that group and not worried about, I don't know it or what's going on. And so we want to build a psychological safety here with you as a group. So anytime there are questions, please stop us. We're very open to that. And we certainly want to provide as much time as possible to reflect the process. Okay? Now here's what we're going to count on you to do, to participate actively. You've already done it. You were blowing bags around with red balloons in it. People trusted me to take a red water balloon and write on it with a Sharpie. Woohoo! Yes. Well, I was coming back to check because you needed the medical check, right? And you're okay. You're breathing. Okay, so you're good. I was actually checked with you. And yes, there will be dancing after lunch, and so we do expect you to participate actively. Press for clarification. We have a mix of people in this room that are past administrators. We have some people maybe from central office. We have some people who are instruction support specialists or other types of jobs. So press for clarification. If something we're doing doesn't make sense or you need some clarification, please do it. And then seek application to the work with the VanderJagt agenda we talked about. How does this fit in with what I'm going to be doing with the team that I'm standing alongside? Honor time constraints, you already did that. One of the things we'll do at breaks is we'll have music, and when the music stops, you should be back in your seat ready to learn. So we'll give you a time and let you know how much time you have, and then you'll come back into your seats during that time. Same with lunch, okay? We wish that the grant allowed for payment for lunch, but because believe me, we wanted more time for learning. We wanted processing happening right here. But it is on your own today, and we'll let you know about different places you might go to, or if you bought a brown bread bag lunch, where you could eat it, okay? Technology tools, I'm not sure that I need to worry about this group. Typically when I do facilitation for practicing principals, I need to remind them about putting their phone down and leaving it in some place. When I worked in Mattawan, we had 4 buildings, and so we wrote norms that included those about if you take a phone call, you had to pay $1 and put it in the middle. If you were negative or whining in any way, you had to pay $1, okay? And so we were able to collect some dollars for adult beverages at the end of the year. But you know, as a principal, some days you just came in with a 10 and laid it on the table and said, okay, here we go. I gotta talk about this, you know? All right? Finally, take care of your own needs. If you're like me, an ADHD kind of guy, I can't sit for too long, so I have to get up, do some wall push-ups, go to the bathroom, and do those things. So we want you to be comfortable with that. So what are you thinking? Is there anything else you think that we need, that you might need to count on us to do, or we can count on you to do? Take a moment at your table now. Oh, I'm sorry, please.
Do you mind if we move the podium just so he can
Oh my goodness, we don't need a podium. Nobody's standing behind a podium.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. See how that helps shape a learning environment? Just like that. So talk at your table for a minute. Why would a leader, or why would somebody start with this strategy of count on me, count on you? What's the impact on the group? Take a moment at your table to say, why would we start with this?
I use it before, so I use it as part of my back every year, and I tweak it every year depending on, you know, there's just different things that kind of come up. So I think it gives clarity and purpose of whose role is what and what our expectations are. And then I staff have an opportunity to, if there's something I miss that they want to me use it to build trust. They also have an important meeting. I mean, everyone knows I can't emotionally.
Although we are always
Right.
Yes.
No, I don't want to.
Yes, we'll
This is a
share.
better way to articulate it. Because, essentially, that's what you're
I could call you together, finish your last statement.
It is.
Thank you. Somebody asked me about the Google Slides. We will share this with you, so you don't have to worry about having this information. And I did a session for MEMSPA last year, and I always used the word steal. So I said, you can steal any of the resources I have at all. And somebody gave me feedback and said, Eric, we do not steal. We're educators, we're gardeners, we grow learners and everything. We harvest. So harvest away, people. Okay? So stand and share now protocol. What's the impact on the group? And stand and share. When you're moved, you stand and you share. Go. Or you can point at somebody and go, no, you had a great idea. Go. Come on, we got to talk, people. Let's go.
I'm not clear.
Thank you.
Accountability.
Accountability. All right. So that I can count on you is accountability, isn't it? What else?
Build trust.
We build trust. We let people know in advance. Here's what I can expect you to do. Here's what you can count on me to do. Thank you, Donnie.
You're modeling what we can do with the leaders we're going to work with.
Okay. All right. What else?
It's reciprocal. Good. Everybody's got to participate.
Yes, we want everybody participating in some way.
Clear shared vision.
Clear shared vision. Okay, we're sharing exactly what it is we want it to look like and sound like. What else? Building relationships. How are we doing that?
They're getting to know you and what you bring to the table.
Okay. I'm sharing out exactly about me a little bit and what I'm expecting from you and what I expect from you to do. Yes?
I'm harvesting her idea.
Awesome. Yay. We're changing that stealing word. No more. Harvest.
It's like a working agreement for how we will be working and moving forward together.
It's a working agreement of how we're going to work and learn together. And they change over time, and they change by group, okay? Don't they? Because we might want to get some information from the groups that we're working, right, in some way. So the idea here is that one side of this is the accountability part, but the other part is the support. It's that balance, isn't it? And what's happened to us in our world of education? Have we had enough accountability, do you think? Yeah. Work harder, work faster, get higher test scores, come on, let's go. But where's the support then? Maybe not so much, all right? So here's what we remember, that in exemplary leadership, there's this balance of support and accountability, all right? And what we want our teachers to be are warm demanders, those that insist, but those that assist. And the same with our leaders, those that insist and those that assist. It is basketball time. And Michigan State won the Illinois last night, okay? So I have to share one of my favorite quotes from Tom Izzo. And what he said was this: a good player is a good player. A great player makes others great. A good teacher is a good teacher. A great teacher makes others great. A good leader is a good leader. A great leader makes others great. Okay? And Elmore reminds us that leaders can only hold people accountable for the tasks they've had an opportunity to learn. Okay? So we have to make sure, as we're holding people supportive, that we can't say, hey, we want to see you do this. Or we might have to step back and go, they may not even know about developing collaborative commitments. They may not even know what the literacy essentials are. They may not even know what the data information from their instructional rounds are showing. And so we have 76 schools in this cohort, and all of them are going to be at different phases. One of the things as a group that Laurie shared with us was, I need to see this in like a chart in some way. What are these 7 dimensions? What are these 5 things? What is all this? And it created kind of a cube look. And I was like, oh, that looks like a Rubik's Cube to me. And that's kind of what each of these schools are going to be. They're all interconnected. We're all doing the same work. But we're going to spin them at different times to try to get ourselves to our end result in 2.5 years, which is to have all the sides with the same colors, okay, in some way. All right, enough of me. I am done. Dorothy's coming on.
All right. We did not have enough energy yet.